Hi, welcome to Technicon's technical video on DriveWindow Light version 2.9, specifically for the DC drive, the ABB DCS 800. So we just want to cover some brief things that will help you get started and get rolling with the DriveWindow Light communication software. Okay, quickly, usually the most difficult part is getting connected to the drive initially. One of the things to help you, if you click on the help file and contents, under settings you'll see communication settings, and there's the basic communication settings for the ACS product and for the other ACS products, and then specifically here at the end of this is the specific communication settings for the DCS 800. Specifically, these are different from the other settings, so make a note of this here. 38,400 bits per second, 8 bits, odd parity, 2 stop bits, and as far as the Modbus address, it should be 247 to 247. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and connect. So first, the communication settings are under communication settings, and you can see I've got those set here. This one is set up for COM 0, and I think I need to change that to COM 3. Let's try that out. Okay, so we connect. You see it's creating the parameter groups. Alright, so it's pretty much a simple program. You get all your parameter groups, double click on each group. It takes a second to upload those from the drive and show you what the status of the system is. We have a local remote control button here where we can take control of the drive. We also have the monitor wizard buttons here that we can use to set up monitoring and to go through some of the setup wizards. What I want to focus on right now is the application block programming software. So we're going to go to Tools and Drive AP for DCS 800. This sometimes takes a little while because it has to load up the all the parameters in groups 83, 84, 85, and 86, which are basically specifically for the Drive AP for DCS 800. And we'll see how this works. Just a couple of quick features here we're going to show you. So now we have the screen here with the Drive AP software. There's it's basically like a drawing. There's actually places to put in your project's names, but you notice that it says stopped and unprotected. Before we can edit this, we actually have to put it in an edit mode, and if it's running, we have to put it in the stop mode. Now, if we want to edit anything on here, the control key must be held along with a left click. So I'm going to repeat that. The control left click is how we edit the blocks, edit anything on this page. If we want to edit the title block, we click with the control key depressed, we click left click, and here we can enter in all the title block information and it will populate. That's so we can print it out. It looks like a nice print. So here, if we want to edit our block number 1, we use the control button again, click. We can insert the block. If later on we want to change the order of the blocks, we can insert after or before the current block. And here's our function block set that we have to choose from. So let's say we're going to use an AND block. I want to insert that block. Okay. So now if we want to edit each pin, same thing. We hold the control button down when we do the click, and it will load up what this input's going to be to this block. And because it's a Modbus serial 232 port, it isn't exactly speedy, but it does get the job done. So now we can make that input a parameter. Click on that. It lists all the parameters, and if it's specific to a certain bit within a parameter, maybe we're looking at a control word or status word function, we can actually select the bit over here in this box here. We can edit it. We can put a constant in that input. We can also leave it just undefined. If we get completed here with this block, we want to set up the output for this block. Now this is block 1, and it says block 1 output. We want to take this signal again. We hit the control button and the click, and we come up with a list of things we can do with the output of that block. So if we want to take that block into a parameter, this is the way to do it. Do we want it to be a digital output? We can select a number of digital outputs. If it's a value, we can make it an analog output. We can make a display parameter, we can make it part of the PID, and so there's a lot of different options we can do there. But for now, I'm just going to say we want to make that a digital output block, and we see the tie-in here between the output and the input. So that's a way we can work with this. If we wanted the value to be a constant, we can put it in these 8501 and 8502 parameters, and that way once the program is running, we can edit those constants on the fly and vary them. So next I'm going to show you a copy of the of a program that was already written up here. Okay, so I'm going to set the I'm going to put parameters into the drive. So let's go back in here. We're going to open a parameter file and show you how to put it into the drive. So we're going to open a file. I'm going to use this particular file. So here's a set of parameters from my PC. I go to drive, parameters and signals, and then upload. Upload all parameters. So now it's going to upload all the parameters to the drive. Okay, so now all the parameters are uploaded. I'm going to go into the Drive AP tool, and this again takes a minute to load. Okay, so now we're going to show you how to put a parameter set from the file on the PC into the drive. So I'm going to open up a file from my computer. There's the parameters. Now I'm going to go to Drive, Parameters and Signals, download all parameters. So we're going to download these parameters into the drive. This will take a little time. Okay, now we're going to go into the Drive AP Studio and see what the setup for this particular program was. So we'll give it a minute for the Drive AP to load. Okay, let me resize this window so we can see it better in our video frame. Okay, now if you notice this particular the status is running unprotected. This is a couple different functions. This is kind of a an at speed setup, and so what I want to show here is that as we're running we can actually monitor this during running. So if we use the shift key now and we click on any individual pin here on the we can actually get the value. So we click right here on the little pink area and the line goes away, but the actual value of that item comes into play, so we can see a live view at whatever update this is. We can see a live view of what this status of that particular pin is, input or output. Okay. So you can see how this operates. This is the window that this program works with, and so forth. So again, if you wanted to edit this program, you'd have to stop the program. Then we have to go into the edit mode, and then we can use the edit using the control key. When we're done, we need to start the program. We can protect it with a password as well. So now we're running again. Okay, so let's exit out of this and basically we'll review the tools here. So we can do a new online drive, which is what we're in now. You can create a new offline drive if you want to start parameter sets without a drive. That works except in the case of the DCS 800. We have basically our control panel operations. If we were in local mode, we can do step functions. Here's where we do a parameter backup and restore. We can upload all the parameters here or upload single parameters here. can do a compare function, which is nice. If we want to compare a file on our computer to what's in the drive to see the differences, we can do that. Again, we have our code assist and drive AP tools, communication settings, and the standard Windows settings. This is version 2.9 of DriveWindow Light, version 2. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this is helpful and help you in the future if you use this software. Thanks for visiting. Have a great day.